You have a piano piece. You want the orchestra version. How to make it happen? Let's learn from the master, Ravel. Hello everyone, now that we're halfway through this tune, 2 sections away from the climax, things are starting to bubble. We're about to explore 2 important orchestration concepts, span of orchestration and harmonic density. How does Ravel use them? My name is Yang. I'm a composer who loves turning patterns into tools. Let's take a look at the rehearsal mark 14. Strings take the piano left-hand chord shape, following the voice leading. Notice how the strings hold their notes longer, smoothly shifting to the next harmony. The top note is doubled 1 octave lower. This 4-note voicing is shared by violin 2 and viola divisi. Why doubling the top note 1 octave lower? Let's compare these 2 options. Option 1, a 3-note voicing without the octave doubling, played by violin 2 divisi and viola. Option 2, Ravel's choice, with the octave doubling played by violin 2 and viola divisi. You can hear that doubling the top note an octave lower makes the voicing sound fuller and thicker. It also brings out the top note, the lead, making it more prominent. How about here? What's the logic behind this voicing in strings? Look at the piano. We have D here. Together with the piano left-hand notes, they form a 3-part harmony. Looking closer, E flat in the first chord moves half step down to D, an opportunity for voice leading. Even though they are not in the same register, Ravel moves the D an octave lower, takes this voice leading opportunity to shift the harmony in a very subtle way. For the same reason, Ravel moves B flat down here to connect the repeated pitches. Same with G. And add octave doubling. That's our string voicing. Pay attention to this beautiful, smooth, and subtle harmonic fabric that strings create. Next, harp. Harp's lower notes are the same with the strings, which is, again, piano left-hand harmony with the top note doubled 1 octave lower. Except for the first chord, Ravel used B flat in the harp instead of A flat. For now, let's use A flat. Upper notes of the harp. Ravel chooses the melody note C as the top note of harp harmony. With the melody high above, it leaves a wide space between itself and the supporting harmony. In the earlier sections, the melody and the supporting harmony are sitting more or less in the same register, except for the bass, of course. Aside from adding a single harmonic tone to enrich the voicing, we didn't have to deal with the hollow, thinner sound created by such a large gap. The solution here is to fill the gap with the harmony tones. And the Ravel replaces A flat with B flat. We will see later why he does that. Second chord, the bottom notes are doubled an octave higher, with F sharp as the top note. Next measure. Harp also plays the melody note B flat on the top. Same idea, fill the space between top and the bottom. The second chord here comes straight from the piano. The top note is doubled an octave lower. Now, patterns. First, span. 3 out of these 4 chords stretch over more than 2 octaves. And notice, the first chord in each measure is always wider than the second. Hear the sound and try to visualize the change of the span. Second, the density of harmony. Let's leave the bass note out for now and focus on the notes the harp plucks at the same time. The second chord of each measure has a 3-part harmony, D major triad and a G minor triad. Simple and thin. The first chord, B flat, D flat, F, A flat, and a C. A big B flat minor chord with a density of 5 parts. The first chord of next measure, C, E flat, G, B flat, a C minor 7 chord, 4-part density. Each measure moves from a dense harmony on the first chord to a thinner one on the second. Had we used A flat here, it would sound like this. Less warm and less full than the B flat minor 9 chord, and therefore less contrast with the second chord. That's why B flat is a better choice. The harp voicing here acts as a small-scale reflection of 2 key orchestration concepts, span of orchestration and harmonic density. We will see those considerations applied in the upcoming sections. Combined with the downward contour of the top notes and the accents on the first chord of each measure, these 2 concepts shape the final effect of the harp's playing. It feels like breathing, expanding, contracting, big and small. Now the familiar gesture, the octave leap. It's not obvious in the piano score, but hidden across 2 chords. Ravel seizes the chance to utilize this motif. Expanding upon it, he adds another layer, a leap from B flat to D. They are played by violin 1 divisi group. As before, the bass note is played pizzicato by double basses, sustained by cellos, echoed by the harp. This repeats for the next 2 measures under the flute solo. Next 2 measures. The strings take the piano left-hand notes. This is the first time in the piece so far that there's no pizzicato from the strings or plucked sound from the harp. Without that attack, notice how the character of the sound changes. It feels relaxing. Let's hear it from 2 measures before. So the different articulations of a bass note indeed make a big difference. Last 2 measures. Let's start from here, because it has a complete harmonic information. Gather all the notes. That's a D major triad. Rearrange the shape and double the top note an octave lower. It's the string's last chord. Looking at this measure alone, the harmonic information is not complete, but we can deduce that it's in D minor. Once again, Ravel creates an opportunity for beautiful voice leading in both his composition and orchestration. Hold the common tones D and A and move from F to F sharp. This provides harmonic support while the harp plays its arpeggio figure. That closes this section. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.